Okay, so today I'm gonna try and repair the leaking Model S. I gotta wake up, I have the key on. There we go. Yeah, seems like it was asleep. Like I said, I'm gonna try and repair the leaking Model S here. I've been told, I'm gonna open the front and open. I've been told or recommended it's a good idea to lower the driver's window just in case anything screwy goes on when I restart the 12-volt system, because I'm going to be pulling the firefighter lead to disable the high voltage. But to start, I've taken off the skid plate, try to trace the leak, and I found suspect 3-way valve for the coolant system over in this region. So the game plan is to remove the front to gain access to that valve, and remove this cover and items underneath to gain access to the coolant reservoir, so I can top that back up. It's not completely empty at the moment, but yeah, we'll get a good view once we get in there. So again, I'm going to start taking out the front, which is to remove this rubber trim, and then the liner pulls out. I think I have to remember to unplug the light here, and I'm gonna this panel just pops off as such. This little push pins in it, and we'll zoom into the future. Okay, so now we got the liner, the rubber out. Just say, yeah, practice that. Gotta take a few more things off than I originally planned. The front tray has a lip that goes underneath these panels. I'm pretty sure there might be bolts just like you have here on the perimeter. So I'm gonna pull off these panels. These come off really easy. You just they come off by hand, and this little rubber stays with the car. And this one also pries up gently, comes off by hand. And before I can get this entire assembly out, DIY added some 12-volt lines here that tap with a little fuse tap into the fuse box underneath this water tray here. Wasn't ever planning to take the front out when I designed this, so I bet you I'm gonna have to take this water management tray out. Just comes off with 3 push pin clips, and you just disconnect the rubber hose for the drain, both sides. Yeah, right there. Then the whole thing comes out, and then I'll unplug the wire and unbolt this thing, and then we'll have access, I hope, to everything we'll need to do. I'd say much better than an engine swap, but still annoying. I didn't design that with this in mind, so for next time. So at this point, with the water tray off, there's this manifold here that I originally thought was clipped or bolted in, but apparently you just can pull it out as such. It comes out pretty nice. Just one giant molded plastic piece. It's good. So next up, I'm gonna, since we're getting closer to the orange high voltage stuff, just to eliminate some risk, I'm gonna pull this fireman's lead. You just unplug it there, and you'll hear the contactors switch off, and the car will be effectively high voltage neutralized. And here's my 12-volt access DIY job. And yeah, we'll get these panels off and continue the dive into the car. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Yep, there it goes. Hopefully you heard the click. Contactors are disabled. Let's move this. Okay. Oh yeah, and there is my low coolant. Just a little bit blue left at the bottom of the tank there. So the dashboard wasn't lying. The error code I got was coolant low, service soon. Good system the car has. All right. Again, we'll remove these panels and keep diving deeper. Okay, so now we got the decorative panel off. Again, we just gotta unbolt the front tray. I think it should be a 10 millimeter. Let's see here. Yep, so a bunch of 10 millimeter bolts. And again, as far as I can tell, it's just 2 push pin clips on the front here, which you can just pop off with a screwdriver gently and such. And they just pull out. For a second. And really, note to self, I'm gonna lubricate this just while I'm in here. I'm gonna lubricate this front latch with some chain oil on all the joints there. Just keep it in good shape. Help stave off corrosion. As you can see, just a little surface rust there. And as you can see, I pulled off the custom 12 volt access. The 2 leads just go in these 2 fuse locations. I have to look up what those are. And if I can remember, and if it's even possible to service, I was gonna try and vacuum out the intake side of the HEPA filter, because I'm sure it's clogged with a bunch of random stuff, and I'm too cheap to buy a new one. Yep. All right. So for starters, we got the front tray out. Learned some things. Pro tip: when you pull the firefighter high voltage disconnect, it doesn't turn off the 12 volt. I thought it would, but the key was still working. So pro tip, just disconnect your 12 volt battery. I lazily disconnected the ground. It's laying here, but that's good enough for me. I'm just doing that so the system doesn't kill the battery by being awake for anything. We can see a lot already going on here. Oh, doesn't remind me. To get the front tray out, you just gotta, this ground comes out super easy. This is your front light and front emergency release connectors. They're currently attached to the liner. But yeah, we can see a lot going on here. There's a lot of coolant down there. Gravity is kind of, push the coolant over here, but I think I spotted the leak, and see if I could zoom in. I think this might be a digital zoom, so it's not really good. All right, and we're back with some proper optical zoom. You can see this is what I think is they call this the 3-way valve down here. And I think that's where the main problem is. And I think there's another valve, a 4-way valve that I purchased, but I don't think I'm leaking from it just yet. So that might be behind the HEPA filter. Yeah, we're gonna change out this guy, because it's at least the start of my leak of antifreeze. And I don't think this is gonna be all that bad. Get out of here. Famous last words. Just something I'm really excited about. Cleaning the HEPA filter is gonna be super easy. I mean, honestly, it's all right here, and I'm thinking I might put back the intake, or sorry, the cabin side of the filter, the manifold, just to keep any dust I'm stirring up kind of out of the cabin, or maybe I could just remove. Seems like this whole thing just comes out, so yeah, just take this, put it aside. Yeah, look, there's our four-way filter. Sorry, four-way valve. And it's dry. Versus what I have at least traced back to one source of a leak. Is this three-way guy over here, so more to come. So I'm kind of planning on how to access the bolts to this three-way valve. I noticed that this valve is just floating here. It looks like the, I'll bet you it had two bolts, two screws, and they look like some kind of Torx or some kind of T-bit, but this screw is just hanging out here. So over 135,000 miles, this guy is at some point loose, and it's supposed to be up as such. So I'll make sure to put that back. I don't think we're changing this guy today, as he seems to be not leaking like I said, but I do have an extra part for that for when the time comes. But now I'm just gonna see if I can find my tool to take these clamps off and get my rubber hose pinchers out. Shouldn't be too bad of a surgery going on here. Just need to unplug, see if I can find my dielectric grease, and have at it. Cool. Okay. So change of plan. I need to clamp that line there, and there's not really enough room up here to prevent all the coolant from coming out of the system. So, and there's got this screw out, kind of easy to access from here. However, there's one on the other side that the refrigerant line's blocking. I have seen people come from up here with some extensions and U-joints. I think I'm just gonna try and attack it from underneath. I'm gonna take the skid plate off so I can clamp the line and hopefully access that T30 screw. So again, there's the leak. Remnant. Take the skid plate off. There's a bunch of push clips all on the leading edge. There's some 10mm screws. There's 4 at each wheel, and there's 4 bolts kind of in a square in the center, and 2 more push pin clips in the center on the back of the skid plate. Then it slides back and drops. So gonna take that off now. Okay, I got the skid plate off. There's the ecological disaster. This is the hose that is gonna crimp from the bottom. I have access to this screw now. I use like a couple of 90-degree angle fittings. Unscrew it from down here, and yeah, the last thing to do probably is to unclip the electrical harness, and of course, like I said, crimp off this third hose, back the hoses off the little 3-way valve, the nipples there, put the new one in. I might just clean the connector off. Look at it, seals, but I might not even put dielectric grease on it, so we'll make a judgment call. Okay, I just had to show you the craziness we got going in. So I definitely needed to take the skid plate off, so I'm using that tiny little access there to back off. Screw, see if I can find where we're at. Yep, there I am, coming down right there. So that's I guess that's how you do it. Okay, so we got the old one out. It was weird to mix up the old one and the new one, even though you could see like the blue antifreezes on it. Oh, look at that. So, but I could tell the old one has the rusty screws. Non-rusty screws. Just want to see Here's the old part number. Guess it's this one up here, the 600 series. And I guess, yeah, there it is, the 600 there. F. And this is a C, so there's at least been 2 revisions of this part. And I said O in the film because you notice the bottom of the receptacle is got that plastic there versus it's just an exposed circuit board here. So it looks kind of a neat update. I don't know if there's a lot to say here. I think the leak was occurring, sorry to drip that, somewhere where the valve mechanism screws in. Kind of a weird leak, but nonetheless. Gonna pop this guy in. I'm gonna put only the easy to access screw in, hopefully, because this guy's in a vertical orientation. It's not gonna kind of shake loose, and I'm gonna spin the second screw on the 4-way valve there that was missing a screw. I don't know if it shook loose or what. I didn't find it, so maybe it's just never there. I figured that 4-way sitting sideways has a better chance of shaking the single screw loose. So that's what I'm gonna put there. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna pop the new guy in, slip the hoses back on, then I'll put the electrical connector into the new guy. Gently trying to keep it kind of clean. I don't think I'm gonna put dielectric grease in. It seems like it's sealing pretty well. Famous last words, but you can see the seal still fully intact. It's a triple seal, so yeah, we're willing to gamble that. See if we get any water in there, and yeah, I'll keep going. I'll post some more updates. Again, friendly reminder to self to channel oil this guy. I'll clean the HEPA filter, and so one more thing I had to do with this out. Thinking while I had the chain oil, I was gonna spritz some of these clips just to keep them intact. Really, for the next time I have to take anything off, if ever in the future. Okay, got the new 3-way valve in, put all the hoses back, put my 1 screw in, and I got the hose clamp back in. I was happy I found my hose clamp tool. It makes this job so much easier than with the needle nose pliers. Get yourself one of these. And now we're ready. You know, I got the extra bolt put back on the 4-way valve. Now we're ready to fill up. Gonna put it, we're on a slight downhill. Front of the car is facing downhill, so I'm gonna put it on the max line on the front. And there's a nominal line here on the side. I'm gonna fill it to those. Did you see that nominal? Oh, there it is, nominal. Right there. Just because that's the midpoint. I got myself some 50/50 Xerox. This is G48 spec. It actually says Tesla on it. I was surprised by that at the store. Got this from O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm sure it'll do the job just fine. Oh, one more thing to add. So I'm gonna fill it up, like I said, to the lines. There's a bleed procedure in the service mode of the car, so I might enable that. See if I bleed some air off out of the system. I think to do that, I'm going to put the front liner back in because my DIY 12-volt access, I think I need some fuses there so the car won't complain. But yeah, it's coming together. Alright, I must report that went better than expected. I actually just like dripped a little bit. This has never happened to me. Maybe I'm finally growing up. No funnels required. So I'm gonna put the front liner back in and run the bleed thing when I plug the battery back in, so stay tuned. Alright, so got the battery hooked back up, got the fuse taps put back in, and the high voltage loop is plugged back in. So if the battery needs to charge it off the high voltage, it can, which is good. The locks work, no car alarm, that's good. Alright, subwoofer. Alright, let's see here. So I think if you go into software and you hold down on the model name, S P100D, for a little bit. Is that how you get into service mode? Yeah, I think you just keep holding down on this in the software menu. Let go. Ah, okay, yeah, got it. And I think you just type service as the password. Say okay. Enable service mode. Alright, we are in the service mode. Let's see here. So I want thermal. Actions, I guess. Thermal, actions, and I think I want coolant air purge. Let's try that. Never tried this. So, show the keys when the vehicle's in park. Hold the right turn signal. Press on or brake for 8 seconds. Okay, that's interesting. If following a component replacement, one of the unlocked conditions is not met, don't know what that means. Oh, it says gateway unlock required. Gateway unlock. Huh. Well, hold the right turn signal. Oh, okay. So it wants my thing to drive. Hang on. Oh, okay. That was weird. I'm just not used to this. So I unlocked it. I guess I can run retain roll until it is completed requested. And or been requested to stop. Okay. Exit the modal or because will not affect. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, I can hear it running already. I think I heard all the air bubbles come out of it. We're still, if you can see that, still at nominal. And yeah, so of course when I plugged in the 12 volt, it ran the pumps just momentarily. So yeah, make sure you have coolant in your Tesla before turning on any of the low voltage, high voltage systems. So yeah, that sounds clean. I think I'm just gonna leave it at nominal. I don't know if I need to add any more else. Probably got room for overflow for when it gets really hot. Yeah, she's an older 2016 Model S, but she's still kicking. Sounds really good. That sounds pretty nominal. Nominal for SpaceX nerds. Alright, let's see. So this is all of the old leak, and you know, lucky for me, no fresh leak. It's always good. Yeah, even that right there's all old leak. Yeah, what's not to like? And no other spots are leaking. Alright. I'll take it. Okay. Just because it's getting cold and late, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna again put chain oil on my wood release, and I'm gonna clean out the HEPA filter with my shop vac and put all that back. Again, the assembly is just reverse install. I'm gonna remember to put the wire loom through the trunk or front liner here and put all the carpet and panels back. Other than that, again, it's still running. The air purge cycle, but it says it'll stop when it chooses to, so I'll let it do its thing. Other than that, I think that's a wrap. That's a pretty solid repair. Saved about $500. Really happy about that. So yeah, if you found this helpful, I guess give it a like, and stay tuned for more. I'm gonna try to do more of these to help new folks out. All right, thank you.